You have a voice in your head that talks like it hates you. It says, not good enough. People will judge you. You always mess it up. And what's scary is it sounds like you. But here's the truth. That voice is not your personality. It's a pattern, a protective program. In this video, I'm going to decode your inner critic, what it is, why it exists, and how to calm it down without fake positivity. And by the end, you'll have a 3-minute exercise that can change how you talk to yourself starting today. Because if you fix your self-talk, you don't just feel better. You make better decisions. You take action faster. You stop sabotaging yourself in silence. Let's decode it. Your inner critic is not there to destroy you. It's there to protect you. It's your brain trying to stop pain, rejection, failure, embarrassment. So it attacks you first because it thinks that will keep you safe. If it makes you doubt yourself, you might not take the risk. If it makes you feel small, you might not stand out. If it makes you overthink, you might avoid mistakes. The inner critic is basically fear using your own voice. And that's why it's so powerful, because you don't argue with it, you believe it. Now here's the first important switch. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who hears them. If you can hear the inner critic, it means there's a you separate from it. So we're going to stop treating that voice like the truth and start treating it like information. Step 1, identify what type of inner critic you have. Most people think their inner critic is one thing, but it usually comes in 4 styles. Style 1, the judge. It says, "That was stupid, you're embarrassing." Style 2, the perfectionist. It says, "Not yet, it's not ready, make it flawless." Style 3, the forecaster. It says, "This will end badly, don't do it." Style 4, the comparer. It says, "Look at them, you're behind." Now listen closely. Each style has a different fear underneath. The judge fears rejection. The perfectionist fears shame. The forecaster fears uncertainty. The comparer fears not being enough. And when you understand the fear, you stop fighting yourself blindly. Now here's the second switch. Your inner critic gets louder when you feel stressed. When you're tired, stressed, hungry, isolated, or overwhelmed, the inner critic becomes louder. When you're tired or stressed, your brain goes into protect me mode. It looks for problems, and it often treats mistakes like a danger. So your inner critic gets louder because your brain is trying to keep you safe. And the inner critic often spikes before a big decision, a difficult conversation, a new project, posting content, going to the gym, anything that could trigger judgment. That means the inner critic is a signal, a sign you're near growth. But most people misunderstand that signal, and they retreat. So the goal is not to delete the inner critic. The goal is to change your relationship with it. Here's the problem with most advice. People say, just think positive. Just believe in yourself. Just be confident. That fails because when you're anxious, your brain does not accept fake statements. It rejects them. If your inner critic says, you're going to fail, and you respond, I'm amazing, I'm perfect, your brain says, that's not true. And the critic wins. So instead of fighting the inner critic with positivity, we use something stronger, clarity. We're going to use a simple 3-step method. Name it, question it, replace it with a useful command. Step 1, name it. This is the easiest way to create distance. When the thought appears, you say, that's my inner critic. Or even better, that's the judge. That's the forecaster. That's the perfectionist talking. Why this works? It breaks the illusion that the thought is you. It becomes a mental event, not an identity. Step 2, question it. not with emotion, with logic. Ask 3 questions. Is this 100% true? What's the evidence? What would I say to a friend in the same situation? Your inner critic speaks in extremes. Always. Never. Everyone? Nobody? But real life is not extreme. So when you question it, it loses power. Step 3. Replace it with a useful command, not a compliment, not hype, a command. For example, instead of "I can't do this," you say, "Do the next small step." Instead of "I'm not ready," you say, "Start messy, improve later." Instead of "They'll judge me," you say, "Be clear, not perfect." Instead of "I'm behind," you say, "Compete with yesterday." A useful command gives your brain direction because the inner critic doesn't just attack your confidence, it steals your next action. So we give your brain a next action. Now let's go deeper. Why does the inner critic feel like a habit? Because it is. Your brain strengthens what you repeat. If you've practiced self-attack for years, it becomes automatic. You don't choose it. It happens. But automatic doesn't mean permanent. You can retrain your self-talk the same way you train a muscle, repetition. And here's the biggest secret. Most people try to stop the inner critic after it already hit them. But the real power is building an anti-critic default before stress arrives. So I'm going to give you a simple daily pattern that takes 60 seconds. Every morning, you choose one identity sentence and one process sentence. Identity sentence, who you are becoming. Process sentence, what you do today. Example, identity, I'm the kind of person who handles discomfort. Process, today I do the next step for 10 minutes. Or, identity, I'm building an unbreakable mindset. Process, today I show up even if it's not perfect. This is not motivation. This is training. You're teaching your brain what you does. Now, quick warning, some inner critics are louder because they were learned. Maybe you grew up around harsh judgment. Maybe love felt conditional. Maybe mistakes were punished. So your brain learned, attack yourself first so others can't. If that's you, be patient with yourself. That voice was built in survival mode, but you're not there anymore. You're building a new internal environment. Now let's make this practical with a real-life example. Let's say you want to post a video. Inner critic says, "This is cringe. People will laugh." Name it. That's the judge. Question it. Is it 100% true? Have I seen people post worse and still grow? Useful command. Post it, learn from data, improve next. That's how creators win. They don't wait for confidence. They post anyway. Then confidence arrives later. Now let's say you want to speak up in a conversation. Inner critic says, "You'll sound stupid." Name it. That's the forecaster. Question it. What proof do I have? And what's the cost of staying silent? Useful command. Say one sentence clearly. One sentence. Not a speech. One sentence. This is how you stop being controlled by self-talk. Now the exercise. This is the inner critic decoder exercise. Do it right after this video, 3 minutes. Step 1. Write your inner critic's favorite line, the sentence it repeats the most. For example, I'm not good enough. I'll fail. They won't take me seriously. I'm behind. Write it. Step 2. Label the critic type. Judge, perfectionist, forecaster, or comparer. Write the label. Step 3. Identify the fear underneath. Rejection, shame, uncertainty, not enough. Write the fear. Step 4, create your useful command. Short, clear, action-based. Examples. Do the next small step. Start messy. 1 sentence. 10 minutes. Be consistent, not perfect. Choose one. Now the final step. Read this out loud. That's the label. It's trying to protect me from fear. But today, I choose useful command. Say it once and then do the smallest action immediately, because the inner critic cannot survive momentum. It wins when you freeze. It loses when you move. If you want, comment the word decoder, and I'll give you 10 useful commands you can copy depending on your critic style. And remember, your mind doesn't need a perfect you. It needs a trained you. One thought at a time, one action at a time, until your inner voice becomes your strongest ally.